What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we will be looking at a game between Beastyqt and Bischu. This is going to be a Terran versus Protoss, Beastyqt versus Bischu here on the map Shattered Temple. Let's get some recent tournament information. Starting with our yellow Protoss player here in the 3 o'clock spawn position, Bischu recently took second place at the eSport SM qualifiers in February of 2012. Also took third place at the ESWC 2011 European Online Qualifiers, and this was in September of 2011. His opponent over here in the 9 o'clock spawn position, our pink Terran player Beastyqt, was a semi-finalist at the Scan Invitational number 3 in January of this year. Also took second place at the Zotac Cup monthly final December. There you go, guys. Recent tourney information. Let us hop right into the game. Starting things out, Beastyqt will be coming here with this frontal wall off as he drops his initial supply depot, which will be followed up more than likely with a Rax. Gonna dance around with that SCV for a moment. Yeah, coming right back and dropping the Rax. There we go. Beastyqt continues up that wall off. Back over here. Gateway gets dropped down at 13th supply for Bischu. Bischu now moving out. Scouting firstly up here in the 12 o'clock spawn position with that probe. And then after that should be moving immediately down into the 9 o'clock position. No reason for him to check the 6 o'clock. It is literally impossible for Beastyqt to spawn here, as in this map, close spawn positions are not possible. So with one player here, no player can spawn over here. If you didn't know that, now you do. There you go. Probe Scout moves up, checks to see if Beastyqt is there. Doesn't actually even go far enough. If there were a command center here, I'm pretty certain that he would have not seen it. But since there's no Rax in this area, I guess that's what he's going off of. I don't know. There could have been a Rax over here. I'm just saying Beastyqt could have been here and Bischu wouldn't have actually scouted him fully. Doesn't really matter though, because Beastyqt is down here in the 9 o'clock and Bischu now has finally scouted him. SCV Scout also moving out for Beastyqt right now, firstly checking that 6 o'clock. He's going to move on in, try to see if Bischu is there. And there you go, that's a great example. You can see how he moved in far enough to see where they're in Nexus, and that is something that, honestly, Bischu didn't do. I'm surprised. But again, it doesn't matter, so kind of just yammering on about nothing, really. First Marine heading on now. Beastyqt moving to the center of the map. Will be grabbing the tower with that Marine. Let's see if he continues to try to push with that. Beastyqt also checking for a Nexus, which is not there at the moment. No expansion yet for Bischu. Really have no idea quite as of yet what he's going for. He is on 1 gas, so that is giving him a little bit extra early game minerals. 1 Zealot and a 2nd Zealot coming out. A lot of times you'll see Zealot Stalker, but not the case here for Bischu, as he is opening up very quickly with a 2nd Zealot instead. SCV Scout checking that expansion. Now he knows where he is. He hasn't moved up though, and he's actually going to be hiding him here momentarily and probably moving in for secondary scouting later on. This is a very popular position to hide an SCV. A secondary SCV Scout. What does that mean? If you're a Protoss player, probably check that position. You may very well find something. Nexus coming down here for Bischu is going 1 gate expand. Coming out with a sentry as well, so no early game Stalker, and as a result of that early game pressure with Stalkers to soften up Marines will not be happening from Bischu this time around. Pro moving on out. Let's see what he decides to do with this. Where's he going? Going to that high yield? Well, look at that. We do have a 1-1-1 opener here from Beastyqt, coming out with Marines and Hellions, and this could very well be that Marine Hellion medevac push that it is so very popular and can be so very effective. Now Bischu has dropped a proxy pylon. He's got a 2nd gateway coming through. Warp gate research almost finished. This pretty much implies aggression. We'll have to see what he ends up doing with it though. I think that probe was killed. Yeah, it was. Probe gets killed by one of these Marines here. There it is. That's the bad boy. Congratulations, Marine, you got the kill. It is that 1-1-1 opener, and again, it is Marine Hellion medevac coming out here from Beastyqt. Very popular, very effective, and potent push. Speaking of pushes, Bischu himself also moving out with 2 warp gates. A robotics facility is coming through. His expansion is now up. Should be working to saturate that right now, at least a little bit. Transferring on down with 5 workers. Here comes the aggression from Bischu, but Beastyqt is prepared for this. Moving out with those Marines and Hellions, and we really need to hit these forces right now while they are thin. There we go, pushes on forward. These Hellions are amazing against the Sentries and the Zealots. Not so much against the Stalkers though. Actually, the Stalkers a perfect response here, as they're good against both the Hellions and the Marines. Sitting a little bit too long though in that Marine target fire. He needs to kind of just micro around with these stalkers, and interesting trade of blows there between both players. Let's take a look. Bischu comes out behind, losing 725 resources as opposed to the 250 loss of Beastyqt. We do have the medevac now moving out here for Beastyqt. Looks like he is going to be pushing out for some counter aggression. Stalkers also continuing to push here. Again, they're very strong against those Marines early on. We have a transition coming out with tanks and Banshees as well from Beastyqt. Continuing up that Marine production, and 2 more racks coming out. Beastyqt will not be expanding anytime soon. He plans to stick on one base and do as much damage as possible. Hellions dropped out of the medevac. Medevac heads back home. Let's see what the Hellions can do. Move on up into the expansion. Starting to roast some workers here. Gets a nice bunch. Gets a second bunch. Very effective. A little hit there from Beastyqt. Oh, that is wrong. No, Hellion. Pull back, please. Oh my gosh. Wow, Beastyqt kind of dropped the ball a tiny bit there, as he didn't need to lose any of those Hellions. I think had he pulled back completely, he would have been quite fine, honestly. Transition now into that Banshee harass. We do have some tanks coming out. No siege tank, no siege tech quite yet. I would like to see that from Beastyqt. He can afford it right now, and he is even supply blocked, so even cancel that off or something. I don't know. Just come out with that siege tech. That'd be great. Banshee follow up now coming out here from Beastyqt. Now he killed a total of 8 workers there in that engagement, pushing Bischu further and further behind. Now those numbers continue to climb. Beastyqt with 2 kills so far, forced back from the stalkers. And now Bischu obviously has that income advantage if he can get this up and saturated, but he has already lost 11 workers, and that is not helping his cause at all. If we take a look at the income right now, Beastyqt is actually ahead. That's going to be partially due to muling. I want to take a look at the number of workers in play. 26 SCVs as opposed to 25 probes. We also have those mules, which are assisting with that extra income there for Beastyqt. Now Beastyqt once more is sticking to one base play. He is fully dedicated to this. No expansion will be coming from him this game. He is far too committed to just pushing off of one base and massing up these forces and trying to do as much damage as possible. Take a look at the army size comparison. Beastyqt is ahead at the moment. Now what needs to happen here for Bischu is if he can bide his time and hold off this aggression that will be coming shortly from Beastyqt, then he will have an advantage, most certainly, because he has that strong income. He's got even 4 warp gates up now. And that Robo should probably be coming out with some more mortals. How many does he have? Get 2 in play. We have 3 tanks with siege tech coming on through. 4 tanks in play, pushing with the SCVs as well. And here it goes, guys. Here comes the push. Once again, Beastyqt really has to get a KO right here. He has got to take Bischu out because this is everything. All his eggs in one basket, as they would say. SCVs, Marines, a Hellion, tanks, and some Banshees. This is such a strong and scary push for a Protoss player to have to deal with. Bischu being very bold, moving to the center of the map to try to cut off these forces. Beastyqt is going to be able to position himself properly here. Here we go. Guardian Shield gets dropped. Tanks were unsieged for a moment, allowing those Zealots to get up a little bit closer than they would have otherwise before they started taking some damage. Banshees doing what they can. Immortals now up on the tanks. Going to start target firing them down. 2 down. Just has 1 more to go. Bischu holds off the push. Unbelievable, but we do have some more reinforcements here. Beastyqt deciding to hightail it back home right now. That was not at all what Beastyqt had hoped would happen. Take a look at the resources lost. They are now even. Keep in mind, though, Bischu was behind for quite a long time. He has these 4 warp gates up and running right now, and at this point, he has got to have that stronger economy. Yes, he does. Bischu sitting with the stronger economy, forcing a 1-base all-in Terran back to his natural expansion. That's a problem for Beastyqt. This is definitely not what he envisioned happening, and this could be a bit problematic. Bischu will continue to push right now. He also has this pylon over here so he can reinforce when he deems it necessary. Just softening up right now and actually forcing a ton of SCVs off the line as Beastyqt is a little bit concerned. We'll be chasing back these forces, but Bischu, I'm feeling pretty confident in his position right now. The fact that he defended that initial wave from Beastyqt is tremendous. And now Beastyqt is fully all cards on the table. He's pulled off nearly every single one of his SCVs. Not a whole lot more coming from him in terms of production because he literally has almost no mining left. This is the final hurrah here for Beastyqt. If he does not win this, game is over. Bischu, realizing this, is pulling with everything. probes from the expansion moving on forward, providing a little bit of distracting fire, and Bischu continues to work his way through, and he has got this. Good game, Bischu. Beastyqt leaves without even a GG, and that's unfortunate because really, hats off to Bischu defending against that all-in. Really unbelievable, and congratulations to him. Great game between these two players. Although Beastyqt refused to say it, this was most certainly a good game between these two players, and you know, hats off to Bischu. Defending against a one-base all-in Terran is not an easy task, and he was able to do so. So once more, congratulations. Great game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this commentary. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe, and thanks again, guys. Keep watching, keep owning.